Here we are. Disney Villianous Despicable Plots, Lady Termaine. Welcome to Cinderella's world, where, as Lady Termaine, you need to ensure that Drusilla or Anastasia marry the prince. This is a very straightforward board, but this is the fate cards are a little unfair for this one. But let's go over the locations first. Here we have Cinderella's room, the music room, the castle, the ballroom. So now that we've gone over the locations, you know the ballroom is an important place, which is where you need to make sure that the girls can marry the prince. Well, one of them. But to do that, first you have to get invited to the ballroom. When you play this card, you unlock the ballroom. So now you can move there. So you can have access to the activate ability, which will be very, very important for the wedding bells. Now, when you have one of them to the ballroom, you need to activate the wedding bells. But it would only be proper if they were in their wedding gowns. Oh, I guess it's just a gown. So to play this, you would need to discard Drusilla to play Drusilla in a gown. Or discard Anastasia to play Anastasia in a gown. And then you just have to move them over and activate the wedding bells, and you win. Doesn't that sound like fun? Now, when it comes to the fate cards, they are extremely mean. As an example, Sweet Nightingale. Move an ally to any location. So if Drusilla or Anastasia is getting way too close for comfort, just move them back to the house. Now they have to make their way back over again. Well, you can move one of them. That's why there's two. Or your opponent can bring Cinderella into play. While Cinderella is in play, all effect cards cost +2 power. Cinderella may not be played if Ballgown Cinderella isn't played. So with her sitting there, effects are going to cost you 2 more. So you're going to want to make sure you have lots of power. But if your opponent decides that's not good enough, let's play Fairy Godmother. When Fairy Godmother is played, find and play Ballgown Cinderella. While Fairy Godmother is in play, only fate cards can move allies. So you won't be able to use the move action. But now that we put her in play, we have Ballgown Cinderella. So you have to discard regular Cinderella to play Ballgown Cinderella. While Ballgown Cinderella is in play, no allies can enter the ballroom. Now, if this goes into play and there's somebody already in the ballroom, that doesn't make a difference. So try to get them into the ballgown as soon as possible. This card cannot be trapped. We'll talk about that in just a moment. When Ballgown Cinderella is defeated, find both glass slippers and play them. So when we're talking about being trapped, we'll just bring Gus into play. There's a Gus, there's a Jacques, there's a couple other heroes that's, lots of fun. So when he's in play, all items cost 2 more power to play. These are both items. So if he's in play, those are going to, rack up the bill. But what you can do is you can play Trapped. When you play Trapped, you trap a hero. When they're trapped, using the little icon to show that they're trapped, their abilities no longer exist. They are still a hero, they are still in play, but they no longer have an ability. And now that it costs 2 to play instead of 4, we can play the key. When the key is played, Move Cinderella to Cinderella's room. Put a trapped token on her. So you put her there, and then she goes here, and you trap her. But that doesn't work on Cinderella ball gown. It only works on the regular Cinderella. And if she changes into a ball gown, the trap is removed because Cinderella ball gown cannot be trapped. And if your opponents are getting really nasty, they can play bippity boppity boop, which just lets you remove a trap token. Because who needs a trap token, right? Now, if things are getting really out of hand, well, not really out of hand, but you just really need to get rid of Cinderella for reasons, because you can't win, you can play You Little Thief. Defeat Cinderella or gown Cinderella. So you go boom, which makes her go boom. But now that that's done, you have to play the glass slippers. You have to find them in your deck. And then each one gets played to a certain location. Glass slipper does not attach to a hero and must be played to either Cinderella's room or the castle. Lady Termaine cannot win the game if a glass slipper is in her realm. So that one goes there. And that one goes here. Now, you need to get rid of those while you are available to. The only way to get rid of them is by using Lady Termaine's cane, which is just to remove a glass slipper. You have to be able to activate it. So you can make sure that you have this available to you, or play There's Still a Chance. As an effect card, you can either play this to move a character or activate. So you can activate that and go crash or go crash. And with all of this going on, if you've just had enough of all the heroes, you can play Midnight. Defeat all heroes in your realm. Find and play both glass slippers. So you still have to make sure that you destroy or keep the cane in play. Now, if you have destroyed a glass slipper and you play that, you do have to bring it out of the discard pile. So make sure you have an idea of what's going on before you play that. And then finally, as a way to, if you think you're about to win, you don't want to see Cinderella, you don't want to see a glass slipper, you don't want to see Fairy Godmother, there's a chance you can fix everything by playing I Never Go Back on My Word. Shuffle your Fate discard pile back into your Fate deck. Look at the top 4 Fate cards and replace them in any order. So you can just quickly grab those up and swap them out with a couple cards that will not stop you from winning if you know that a Fate is going to be coming to you. So you might see that happening as soon as I have everything that I need and I have a Drusilla or an Anastasia sitting in the ballroom. So with that, it is a very easy to win board, but it is also a very easy to lose board. So wish me luck when you guys see me in about half hour doing exactly that. And let's find out if I can help Anastasia and Drusilla get married in 20 turns. See you then.